Have you ever thought, why do I suck at fantasy football? Welcome. This is the Commissioner Fantasy Football Podcast.
And welcome to the Commissioner Fantasy Football Podcast with your host, Eric, getting you ready for week 4. Hey, week 4 is almost here. And this is besides the Thursday night game, which already played out. Hopefully it went well because I'm recording right before it. Hopefully Marvin Jones did well. So I'm starting him in the league. Two leagues. I'm going to do a quick rundown of all the starts and sits. Look, bottom line, a foundation for your starts and sits is start your stars, don't get away from them. So the people that you drafted early, unless there's an injury going on or something else going on, and don't get too cute with your starts and sits. Just, if somebody had a bad week, like Tyreek Hill has had 2 bad weeks, you don't sit those type of players. So hopefully you know that, but that's a little quick tip. All right, let's start with game 1. We'll do a rapid fire, rapid sit and start, whatever you want to call it. All right, Washington at the Falcons. That's my first game here, Washington football team. For that team, I can start McLaurin, Logan Thomas, and Gibson has an injury going, monitor his injury. So I haven't looked into his injury, but if J.D. McKissick is out there, go pick him up, stash him, put him on your bench. And if Gibson's a play, McKissick is a great start. That's about it. You could probably start the Washington defense. Not a bad start. For the Falcons, you can start Mike Davis, you can start Ridley, and you got to start Kyle Pitts. These are the players, like, you drafted them. And again, who are you going to start over Kyle Pitts? That's usually my question. It's like, don't get too cute with starting Mike, Gesicki, or go getting, maybe even Goddard. I will start Kyle Pitts over them, just because it's going to come. Like, it's just he's a rookie. I don't have him in many leagues, but he's talented. So Matt Ryan's the only one I wouldn't start unless you're in a 2-quarterback league. I'll get to my quarterbacks that I have in 2-quarterback leagues, Superflex leagues, that are devastating. So when I get to them, I'll point them out. All right, Texans at the Bills. Look, you start the Bills defense. That's what you do. For the Texans, like Brandon Cooks, you got to start him even in a tough matchup like this. Volume. He's the only start on the Texans. For the Bills, it's Allen. You start Diggs, and then everybody else is like Cole Beasley in full point PPR maybe. Emmanuel Sanders, you can try to hit on that again, but I'm not, like, if I'm desperate maybe. But I'm not doing that. Singletary or Moss, what a struggle, all right? Singletary has a good game, the Moss has a good game, and I have Singletary in some leagues, and it's frustrating. I think I have Zach Moss in one league, and I don't know what to do. They're on my bench, and hopefully something happens with that team. Next, Lions at the Bears. This one I think the Lions are going to take. So you heard it here. I think the Lions will beat the Bears. Bears are a big mess. It's like, you don't know what to do. But for the Bears, you start Montgomery. You will start Montgomery, Allen Robinson. Don't give up. This is the easier matchup, so this should be good. For the Lions, Swift and Hawkinson are the only starts for me there, and nobody else. All right, Panthers at the Cowboys. For the Panthers, Christian McCaffrey, where are you? I have you in 2 leagues, and it hurts. So you can start Hubbard. Sorry. You could start him. You can start DJ Moore for sure, and Robbie Anderson if you need like a boom start, like something out of the ordinary. He can have that big game. It is against the Cowboys. They look good, but I don't think the Cowboys defense is that great. For the Cowboys, like Dak Prescott, you start Lamb, you start Zeke, you start Cooper. Cooper's dealing with a rib injury. So low expectations, try to trade him. That would be my, but it's kind of too late. I think people wouldn't give you a lot for him. I don't know what's happening. I think his injury is bothering him. He's not the same when he's injured, and you could tell last couple of games. And that's it for that team. And then let's go to the revenge game. The Colts are at the Dolphins. Jacob Brissett is facing his old team, the Colts. The Colts defense doesn't look good. The whole team doesn't look good. Jonathan Taylor, hopefully Mac. They traded Mac away. Well, traded. And dumped, whatever you want to call it. But Jonathan Taylor, hopefully he steps up. Nyheim Hines, looking PPR leagues, he could be a decent start. And everybody else, I don't know. I don't know what to do with the Colts. I have no clue what to do with Pittman, with anybody else. I'm just with Wentz. You can't trust anybody. So Jonathan Taylor, for me, solid start. You got to start him. I'm 0-3 in the league with him. I try to be different in one league and try to draft all cute and, well, not cute, but, differently. And just every player I drafted in that league, A.J. Brown, Jonathan Taylor, Zeke, and and I'll get to him. So I'll get to the other guy I drafted. But it's just every, top-notch players and nothing. So... But that's what happens. For the Dolphins, look, Waddle looks good. I think he's the most talented wide receiver out of the class that came in, and he's showing it, even with the second different quarterback. And, people are not buying into him. I saw somebody drop Waddle. I put a bet on him, didn't win him, but look, this guy's a talent. He looks like the number one receiver on that team. And then Brissett goes to tight end, so Mike Gesicki might be a sneaky start. And then Gaskin, you start him. It's not a good defense, the Colts. I think Gaskin should have a decent game. All right, we have the Browns at the Vikings. Browns, Hunt, start. Chubb, start. Baker Mayfield, this one's a good start for him. This might be a shootout. Vegas has it at 51.5, 51.5. When was the last time you had a Browns and Vikings, which usually have good defenses? The Browns have a decent defense. That's a big over and under Vegas is putting. So, OBJ, Monner, his injury, he's injured again. Something's going on. And then Austin Hooper is a sneaky star. I'm starting him in the one league just because I don't want to stream tight ends. And he gives me a crappy floor, but something. He'll give you something. He's used, especially with Landry gone. For the Vikings, Cousins is a good start, but Browns have a good defense. So Cousins might have his bad game this week, and people would be shocked. I saw people pick up Cousins, and they're going to start him. I mean, it could be a trap. It could be a trap, so be careful. Adam Thielen, first week went off. Didn't get over 100 yards, but did get 2 touchdowns. Close, I think he got 90 yards. Second 2 games, low yardage, 1 touchdown. He's touchdown dependent. So if he doesn't get a touchdown, he will ruin your week. But if you drafted him, a lot of people draft him early, you start him because Cousins looks to him in the end zone. Jefferson's always a must start. Dalvin Cook should play. So if Dalvin Cook is out there, you start him. If you have Alexander Madison, you start him if Cook doesn't play. So pretty simple. Giants at the Saints. Giants, don't start anybody on the Giants. Even Galladay, even I think Shepard and Darius Slayton might not play. Barkley might be the only start, but be wary because, oh boy, these Giants, I don't know what's going on. Daniel Jones, I think, is a decent quarterback. They have a decent defense, the Giants, but just don't want to talk about the Giants. Saints, for the Saints, it's a tough matchup. I know they're at home. Winston might be a sneaky start. You start him in 2 quarterback leagues, super flex leagues. Kamara is a good start. Everybody else, I don't know. We thought Callaway's going to be the guy. He was the guy last week. And we thought Trautman's going to be the tight end, the go-to guy. And we don't know what that team, so I wouldn't start anybody else. But Kamara, Winston, good starts. Not great for Winston. All right, Titans at the Jets. Here's another New York team that I don't want to start anybody on, except maybe Corey Davis. Titans defense is decent, so be wary. Nobody else I'm starting from the Jets. From the Titans, Julio Jones, injured. What's new, right? A.J. Brown, I knew coming into the season I drafted him in a league where I have those other players I mentioned earlier, Jonathan Taylor, Zeke. So he's injured. So Tannehill, no go. Don't start Tannehill. Even against the Jets, doesn't matter. He has nobody to throw to. The only person, Derrick Henry, is going to start in this game. The defenses might do well. The Jets might do well because Tannehill doesn't have anybody to throw to. You want to start the Jets? Go ahead. But they're going to run Derrick Henry as much as they can, I guess. Now, here's a doozy game. Chiefs at the Eagles. This one, Vegas has 54.5. Should be a high-scoring game. Chiefs need to win. Chiefs easy. Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, don't worry. You start your stars. You start CEH, and you start the best tight end ever, Kelsey. You do. He's just amazing to watch. Everybody else, Mecole Hardman might be a sneaky start. Eagles pass defense is not great. They might give up a big play. For the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, you start. This should be a good game for him. He always gives you a base. I like that, especially in 4 points per passing touchdown leagues. He will give you a base. He's not going to ruin your week. I'm starting in a few leagues. I'm starting over Dak Prescott. That's what I'm doing. He has weapons now. So and then Watkins, if you will go watch that game, some catches he had. Look, Devonta Smith is there. They still have Rager. Their tight ends, Ertz looks like he's alive. Goddard's still there. The Miles Sanders is a weapon. Hopefully he gets utilized more. So this team has weapons, and this should be a nice game to watch for fantasy, for scoring. All right, Cardinals at the Rams. Oh boy, the Rams. Stafford finally found his home. Looks good. This should be a good game for Stafford. Cooper Kupp, number 1 wide receiver so far. I did predict that. People were having an argument, Robert Woods over Cooper Kupp. I said, I'm a big Stafford fan. I love Stafford for years. Just a bunch of injuries, just bad team, bad organization. But now he's found great weapons, a great offensive mind, great scheming. And Cooper Kupp is getting open. Oh my goodness, they're using him everywhere. So I say he would be better, and it looks like he's number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. So Rams defense, I would start them even against Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Both teams are 3-0. Another 55 over and under. Oh boy, man, they're giving the Rams. I think the Rams are gonna get scored on, but not that much. But yeah, 55. I'll take the over. For the Cardinals, look, Murray. Oh, sorry, for the Rams, Higbee. Another good start. You know, if you want to throw in Jefferson in a deep league, might give some deep throws. And then for the running backs, Henderson might be back. If he's not, Sony Michel's a good start. If Henderson's not there, you have Sony Michel. Start Sony Michel this week. Cardinals, not good against the run. No bueno. No good. All right. For the Cardinals, look, Kyler Murray, you start. Gives you that rushing base. And then Hopkins, injuries. So monitor that. If he's not 100%, I still would start him, but low expectations. So in those situations, if you have Hopkins and you have like a Mecole Hardman on your bench, start Hopkins and then start Mecole Hardman, because Mecole Hardman can give you a huge game, and that could kind of help you out because Hopkins might give you a bad game. So kind of play smart. And that's what fantasy is trying to play smart. So if a player like Hopkins is injured, try to put players in there. If you're debating on who to put in your flex, put a decent boom player like a Mecole Hardman, like a Ruggs. So players like that. All right. And then Chase Edmonds is a good start. And then Moore and Christian Kirk. I wouldn't start. But you could try, because they might hit, all right? They might catch a bomb touchdown in garbage time or something like that. That definitely can happen, especially with Murray. Seahawks at the 49ers. Seahawks 1-2. Boy, oh boy. But look, Russell Wilson, you start. Metcalf, you start. Lockett, you start. And you start Carson. Automatic starts. And then Everett looks like he's on the COVID list, the tight end. So Will Disley. Big tight end. Russell Wilson has a lot of history with him, so he might be a good DFS play if ever should be out. So a good DFS play would be Disley, because he might get 2 touchdowns or something like that. All right, for the 49ers, George Kittle. That's the one I was going to talk about. I have George Kittle in that league. Oh boy. Jonathan Taylor, Zeke. A.J. Brown, George Kittle, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray had like one good game, I think. And what a tough roster for me to have. I'm 0-3 in that league with those guys. I mean, if you tell me you have Jonathan Taylor, Zeke, A.J. Brown, Kyler Murray, like, and you have Kittle, what do you do? Yeah, I just been crying. That's what I've been doing. All right, for that game, look, you could start Kittle. He's dealing with some injury. Everybody else, I'm just not interested. Should I start Debo? Like, I don't know who to start. I have no clue. Ayuk might be a good start. Somebody's gonna go off. Somebody's gonna have a good game. Kyle Juszczyk was used against the Packers. Look, Kittle's the only one I can trust. All right, just gonna move on. Ravens at the Broncos. Broncos defense I saw was rated like number 1, which they are through 3 weeks, but because they played some crappy teams. They played like the 3 bottom worst teams. Now they're playing a good team. So their defense is good, but it's not great. So somebody was ranking defenses. I'm like, you're ranking them for 3 weeks? Okay. But going forward, I don't think so. I think the Ravens are going to take this one. I think it's going to be a surprise. For the Broncos, look, you could start Bridgewater. Sutton's a good start. And then Williams, the running back. Good starts there, but like even Noah Fant, I'm starting. But I'm not happy. I'm not happy because Ravens can come and play. And I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to go to Hamilton or it's going to go to Sutton. Like, Sutton had a great game and he looked great. But I don't know. So I would, if you have these guys, start them if you want to, but see what other, you probably have better options. So maybe hold and see how Bridgewater distributes without Judy. I miss Judy was the man there. For the Ravens, Lamar, you start. When to start any running backs on the Ravens, I don't know what's going on there. So Lamar, and please, Hollywood Brown, catch some passes. But I have a tough time starting him. And then I don't know if the rookie Bateman's going to be back. We'll see. He's should be available. But monitor that. If he's available, it's something to watch. You want to watch and see how the Ravens play against a good defense. It's a good defense. And then Mark Andrews, you start. He's one of your top 5 tight ends. You start. All right, Steelers and the Packers, and this Ben Roethlisberger is in my super flex. I drafted him, I drafted Winston, and I drafted Lance. And this wasn't a snake draft. It was an auction draft. And so I waited on quarterback and bought these guys for like $1 or something each. And so I'm 3-0 actually because I paid up for good running backs, wide receivers. I have a good tight end. But Ben Roethlisberger, man, it's the O-line, and plus Ben just looks like he's just a statue. But tough. But Deontay Johnson should be back. His weapons should be back. Juju should play. Monitor that. The only person I will stay away from is from Claypool because Ben needs time to throw to Claypool. Claypool is a deep threat. Ben needs time to throw it to him. He won't have that time because of the O-line. And Packers' rush defense is not bad, but their pass defense is good. Alexander's going to be all over that. If you watch the 49ers game, Alexander tracked the ball from Garoppolo and caught it. So deep ball. So Packers' pass defense is good. Deontay Johnson, I would start. Najee Harris, you start because volume. He's getting everything, especially in the short game. Ben has to throw the ball away, and he's throwing it to him, and it's great for PPR. For the Packers, you can start their defense because Ben's going to probably get some turnovers and sacks. You'll probably get those. So Aaron Rodgers, you start. Devontae Adams, you start. Aaron Jones, you start. And then MVS, Marcus Valdes-Scantling. I don't know if he's going to be playing. He's dealing with an injury. If you watched the other game, he got injured. The only person I would think of starting maybe Robert Tonyan, maybe. I think it might be a decent play, sneaky start, DFS play. All right. And then finally, we got the night game. We got the Buccaneers and the Patriots. Tom Brady's coming home. Start everybody for the Buccaneers except the running backs. So you start all the wide receivers. Antonio Brown's back. You start him, unless you have better options. But like I probably would start him because maybe everybody's going to get a touchdown in this game. It's like touchdown for you, touchdown for you. But New England's a good defense too. So somebody on the Bucs receiving core, Gronk, you start. Gronk is going to get a touchdown. How can he not get a touchdown with Tom Brady back? They're going to do something. He's going to do a stupid Gronk dance in the end zone. Somebody's going to be disappointed, but you have to start their wide receivers. You can't get away because two of them, maybe all three will have a good game, but probably 2 out of 3, and Gronk gets a touchdown. Brady, you start. For the Patriots, and Myers is the only person I'm starting. I'm not starting anybody else on the Patriots. Their offense looks a mess. So running backs and Bucks are good against the run. All right, that brings us to the Monday night game, to the final game. The Raiders get another Monday night game. What is that? Why are the Raiders doing another Monday night game? In 4 weeks, they have 2 Monday night games. No. This was planned before. I know the Raiders are 3-0, and Raider fans, if you're out there, you're not going to do anything with your 3-0. But look, Carr has figured out that he has good players, good weapons. Renfro, a good weapon. Brian Edwards, I was talking about last year. Good player. Could be a wide receiver 1. Ruggs, quick, fast. Zay Jones he uses. The running backs are, I'll have to get to the running backs. And then Waller. So he has a bunch of weapons. If they double team Waller, Carr's figure it out. I think he's comfortable now. That injury 3-4 years ago, something like that, really messed with probably his body, his mind, but looks like he's coming back. He's got a bunch of weapons. Jacob plays. You have to start Jacobs, but have a backup option if you have Josh Jacobs. He looks like he's practicing, so have a backup plan. And the Chargers have a good pass defense, but because of all the weapons, I think Carr is a good start. I wouldn't start any of the wide receivers because you don't know who might have a good game. One might and 3 won't. Waller, you start. Just again, you drafted him to start him. For the Chargers, Herbert, Keenan Allen, Eckler, and Mike Williams. Oh my goodness. He's always been talented, and look at him perform. And it sucks I didn't draft him in any leagues. I have him in 9 leagues. Now I have 1 league with Mike Williams. It sucks. But his issues were he couldn't stay healthy before, but looks like he's the man there. So those are all good starts. And to kind of give you guys some advice, to kind of finish this episode on some advice, I look in every league that I'm in. I'm looking, I'm seeing the rosters I'm playing against. When you're playing a Thursday night, you have a player playing on Thursday night, don't leave them in the flex. Take them out of the flex and put them into your running back slot or your wide receiver slot. Look, you might be fine with the flex. Nothing will happen. You'll be okay. But there's going to be 1 week when you forget that. When you forget that little rule that I've been trying to instill since last year. You might leave a player in the flex, and then you get somebody injured in your running back and wide receivers, and you don't have somebody to throw in there because now you need a specific running back. Flex gives you an option of a tight end, gives you an option of a running back, and a wide receiver. So if you start your players in their positions and you leave your flex open for the week, it might save you 1 time in your fantasy football career. But if you're just not doing it, it's not a habit, you'll miss it, and then you'll be stuck, and you might lose a week. I know it's just 1 week, but it's a good rule that I follow all the time. I always put all my players on Thursday night or early games too. I put people in their starting rosters, and I leave my flex for the later people. So you'll have like Devonta Adams as my flex, not like my wide receiver. When people ask me, why do you have Devonta Adams on your flex? Well, because he was playing a night game on Sunday night, so I put him on the flex. So these are some of the things that it won't matter most week to weeks. You'll run into, you'll be fine, but there'll come some weeks where you're gonna have some tough decisions that might keep you away from a win. So I want to keep it under 25 minutes. So I'm wrapping it up. Those are all the games. Hopefully that was helpful. We're going to try to do another episode answering deeper questions and going into depth about certain players and matchups and things like that. Good luck in week 4. Any questions, hit me up on Instagram at the Commissioner Fantasy Football Podcast. Good luck.
Dude, you better not be sleeping after that podcast. That was an amazing message. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Commissioner. Also subscribe on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Any comments, questions, concerns, send them to the Instagram page, The Commissioner.